Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. The Chicago Bears may be losing Kyler Gordon for the remainder of the season, and we got to talk about all that and more on today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Let's go. Now, if you are new to the channel, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the page. You do talk Chicago sports daily on this channel. It's the only channel talk Chicago sports, how Chicago talk. So make sure that you get in tune with us, man, and let us know how you guys feel in the comments below. How big of a blow do you think it would be if Kyler Gordon is not able to return this season? Now, this is stemming from the comments from Ben Johnson, who was asked point blank, I believe it was by Courtney Cronin. I couldn't tell, I wasn't in the room today, but was asked point blank, do you feel strongly that Kyler Gordon will possibly be back this season? And he said, to be determined. Coming out of that game, though, it didn't look very good. Now, this coming off of the heels of Kyler Gordon supposedly returning versus the Green Bay Packers, and the injury bug biting him yet again. It seemed like he was going to be able to finally get back onto the field, probably trying to rush himself back there. But we know, right, Kyler Gordon has kind of been banged up this entire season, and it seems like he may be done for the year. Now, he did sign that 3-year, $40 million deal this offseason, which would kick in next season at 27 years old. And I think that that's why a lot of people are looking at Kyler a little bit sideways on this. You know, you just signed the big contract deal and you're not able to get yourself back on the field, but it's unfortunate. And I've talked about this a ton, you know, talking with J-Mac about his time when he went from Dick Duran to Lovie Smith. There's a lot asked of you that is more when you have a competent and much better coach in the building. And, you know, J-Mac said that there were a lot of groin injuries. There were a lot of hamstring pulls. There were a lot of soft tissue injuries that kept you out of the game because, you know, you weren't preparing the same way for the game anymore. And it seems like that has struck Kyler Gordon just about this entire season. It's been something he's had to deal with, and it sucks that you're not able to continue to have him out on the field, because I think that when he is on the field, most of us believe that he is one of the best players on the field. Like he's literally one of the best slot corners in football. And now, without that guy out there, again, you found ways to survive without that, but you thought you were going to be getting this DB unit back full health heading towards the playoffs here, which Ben Johnson had a conversation on that as well. We'll get to that here in a second. But to me, honestly, it's a bit concerning here. And now, I'm not one that says, you know, Kyler Gordon is an injury what's the right word? Not injury concern, because I mean, this season clearly he is going to be a guy who's injured every single season, right? Some of the injuries that Kyler has dealt with in his time, one was a concussion, one was a broken hand. This is really the most that we've seen Kyler deal with, like these soft tissue, hold him out for long terms of games type injuries. And so I'm not as concerned about moving forward as some people are. Now, if we get into next season where you're paying Kyler Gordon, right, that's a very different conversation. But to me, where he's at right now, it is a blow to this team, because you know that Dennis Allen loves how he can utilize Kyler Gordon. And if he's not able to return this season or for the playoffs at all, right, you're kind of looking at this and saying, wow, that's a big piece that you don't have to be able to go to war the rest of the season. Now, you have been able to supplement that by going out and getting guys like CJ GJ, who's had to step in a ton of different roles. You have been able to supplement it by being able to play Jaquan Brisker down a little bit more in the box or near the line. Getting Jalen Johnson back is going to be a help there as well. Also being able to find Nishawn Wright and hopefully getting Tyreek Stevenson back at some point, right? Like, your DB unit is not crumbling around you. You don't feel like you're in this terrible position here, but I do think that there's a real conversation on, okay, do we have to kind of look at the contract that he just signed a little bit sideways? Because he's not able to get on the field and perform. Again, this contract doesn't kick in until next season. If he's able to perform next season, right, it's all kumbaya, it's all sunshine and rainbows. You don't care nearly as much. But leading into that, right, you're seeing some of the injuries. And the hope is, which ended up happening with the Bears previously, and I think we've seen this, it hasn't just been a Kyler Gordon thing, right? TJ Edwards has gone through this. Tremaine Edmonds is out right now on IR with a soft tissue injury. Grady Jarrett has dealt with this season. Cole Kmet has dealt with this season. There's a lot more being asked of these guys, and so there's a lot more preparation that needs to be done. I think going into this offseason, you will see guys prepare better because they know what to expect coming into camp. They're going to know, what the system is asking them to do, what they're being called to do. And so I think you can prepare your body a little bit better heading into the season, very similar to what we started to see after that first year when Lovey showed up here, right? Like there was a lot of guys banged up. After that, we didn't really talk about the Bears missing a ton of guys all the time. You actually had guys who were considered warriors because of all of the things that they did play through on the field. So I think that that's the point that hopefully we're heading for with this team as a whole, and hopefully Kyler Gordon is able to be a part of that. Let me know how you guys feel in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. Do you feel like this is going to be a massive impact for the rest of this Chicago Bears season? Or is it kind of in your mind business as usual with what we've seen from Kyler Gordon, so you're not that worried about him being out there? Let us know how you feel in the comments below. Also hit that like button, that thumbs up, baby, and subscribe to the page. Appreciate y'all for showing love. The other thing that I thought was very interesting from the Ben Johnson press conference today, you got to have a big conversation around a goal that seems to be the goal of the team. He was asked by Pat Finley, there's been a lot of talk about 11 wins. Is that kind of the goal that you have set for this season? Is that where you see this team being able to go out there, and if you win that, you're able to get into the playoffs? And I love how Ben Johnson responded to that. He essentially was like, listen, we have our goals for the season, and we're keeping that in mind, but right now we're focusing on making sure that we're winning as much as we can. We're focusing on going out there and getting the job done versus the team that we have this week. And I love the focus that we continue to see out of Ben Johnson, because to me, that's the most important thing. Listen, you hope that you beat the Packers. You hope that you beat the Lions. You hope that those are two of the teams that are a part of the wins that you're able to come away with. But you can't guarantee that. And the biggest thing that you need to worry about right now is winning this game this week versus a team that, listen, I said it, you should be able to go out there and beat. Specifically, the quote that he said it on, if he has talks and meetings about the amount of wins needed to make the playoffs. We have goals and we know what's out in front of us. And so it's just that awareness that every game matters. Every game matters. That's where this week you go from an emotional rivalry game like we just played. This week is equally important. We need this win. We desperately need this win. I love the fact that they have their goals, right? There's probably somewhere in the building, in a meeting room, plastered 11 wins. That's our goal for this season. That's probably been the goal for the season since the onset. And now things have gotten a little bit tougher. Guess what? You just lost to the Packers. You're trying to get yourself back on track here versus the Cleveland Browns, a team that you should be able to go in there and beat. And we'll talk about that on tomorrow's Morning Breeze at 7 a.m. So tap in with us if you haven't done so already. We're live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. We'll talk about that tomorrow. Some of our keys to a Chicago Bears victory in that situation. But when you look at that game, you find a way to beat the Browns. You've then got the Packers again. That is an equally important game. You then got the 49ers, equally important game. You then got the Lions, equally important game. And what I mean by that is you're at a point right now where you can't take anything for granted in the NFC. The Lions may go on a run and win their final 4 games. If they do, you need to make sure that you stay ahead of them. The Packers may go on a run and win their final 4 games. If they do, you don't win the division. You need to make sure that you stay ahead of them. And so, I think that when you talk about the importance of each individual game, and we talked about this on this morning's Morning Breeze, Ben Johnson's mindset is not lose any game. When the conversation of a must-win game, do you view this game as a must-win game? every single week, every single play, every single game that they play is a must-win game to Ben Johnson. And I love the conversation that he is having around that. Like, to me, that's the biggest thing that you can hope from any player that you're going to be able, or any coach, I should say, and player, that your mindset is, hey, this game versus Cleveland is equally as important as this big division game versus our top rival that we want to come away with a win in, because those are the guys that don't get caught in trap games, as people have called this Cleveland game. Those are the guys that don't get caught into playing down to the competition, right? That's what it's truly all about, and hopefully that is something this Chicago Bears team can find a way to keep the mindset right on. But hey, I do want to know how you guys feel. Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you guys as well. What are your thoughts on Kyler Gordon? And do you like the fact that Ben Johnson has goals set in place, but is taking every single game seriously? Again, this may be an NFC North where 11 wins ain't enough. You lose to the Lions in that last week, you can find your way to 11 and still be outside the playoffs. So let me know how you guys feel in the comments below, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and showing love. As always, it's your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down. One love. Peace.